Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time zone it is, wherever you in the world. It is your Lore Saviour who is missing some of his head, but you're just going to have to put up with that, I guess. So we're here for another unboxing and wrapping video, which is something I didn't intend on doing today, but this particular item here is rather special, and it caught me a little bit by surprise. What it is, in case you are struggling to read it upside down, is a Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition sourcebook called Buried Secrets, which essentially is the companion piece to Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition, the storyteller's companion or guide, as it were. It's got some artifacts, it's got a little adventure in there set in Atlanta, so you could use this with Necropolis Atlanta, and the 1st edition Wraith the Oblivion core book, which also has a little part of Atlanta in there for you to use as well, so you could just get on and straight playing with that. But if you have a look on the back of this package, you notice that the sort of wraithy chains, and it's really doing some funny stuff with the lighting here, is all greeny in lieu of the 2nd edition style. And Buried Secrets in original format came with a storyteller screen for 2nd edition. Now, I found this on eBay, finding somebody selling Buried Secrets and the storyteller screen together. And I thought, okay, well, that's rather nice. It's not too expensive. It's 25-ish quid. It's not too bad. I'll give that a little purchase. They had some other people watching it, and I just sort of snagged it when nobody else was prepared to buy it. But I'm not too sure how well this is going to appear. But if you have a look at the pages of the book, that's not really appearing very well. It doesn't appear to be used. As you can see, it's still in sort of like this packaging sort of vein. You've got the spine there. And I'm looking at the pages here a bit more, and they don't really look like they've ever been used. So I'm going to hazard a guess that this green thing on the back here, the storyteller's screen, hasn't been used either. So what we potentially have here, ladles and jelly spoons, is a mint copy of this sourcebook and a Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition ST screen, which is by no means any less exciting than the last unboxing I did, which you can now view in a card that's going to appear in a corner somewhere. But this is definitely a lot better nick than that book in question. So I'm now going to completely ruin its monetary value, if it ever had any beyond the 25-ish quid that I purchased, and open it up, and together we can have a look at the quality of this book and how well the storyteller's screen actually is. It's held together by a bit of tape. It was in a box that was delivered by the Royal Mail, so I've already done most of that because I was expecting something else to be arriving today. Fucking gorgeous! Okay, well, there's a little bump on the corner, which again, I'm putting that down to how it came through the fucking letterbox. Again, landed on the corner, which is an issue I found with the last one. Just going to dispose of that. That's landed on the floor. That's going to live there. I think the first thing that we're going to take a look at, just put the ST screen down there, is the book in question. Buried Secrets. There's the back, to which I shall read to you. There are secrets not meant for the living. They are secrets of the angelics and demonics, the way in which the arcanoi of the dead affect vampires and their ilk. Records of potent and mysterious artifacts, all sorts of good stuff like that. But we're so nice, so we'll share them anyway. So break the rules of the dead, take a peek inside. From the brand new fiction to the harrowing suggestions to the sneak peek inside a massacre deathmark parlour, you'll find things that are equally unexpected and useful between these covers. Got your shovel ready? Start digging. What you'll find inside: sample harrowings and storytelling suggestions on creating your own, a full-length introductory chronicle and setting for the little 5-point section of Atlanta, which is the little part of Atlanta I mentioned earlier on, and additional information on human antagonists, the Far Shores, artifacts, and much, much more. Now, the thing of that I want to focus on, arcanoi of the dead affect vampires and their ilk. I forgot about that. There's a bit that mentions here about how wraiths and their powers affect vampires and indeed other supernatural. So, if you want to include wraiths in your game, and you have no idea how their powers work or whatnot, this is the book for you. Buried Secrets, which you can buy as a PDF on DriveThruRPG. I'll provide a link to that in the description below. Or you can hope that you can find a second edition one online, or use that version of the book that you purchased long ago. And I'm just going to be flicking through this book clearly, just to make sure everything's all in hunky-dory condition. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced actually by how smooth it is, by how clean it is, by how pristine everything is. This has not been used at all. And I've just gone past a bit actually about, yes, Arcanoi in the world of darkness. Arcanoi can affect more than just the restless dead. Some have the power to punch through into the skinlands and have tremendous impacts on things, or people, there. Nor are the awakened dwellers in the world of darkness immune to the powers of the Wraiths. The awakened in this sense doesn't just refer to Wraiths, it refers to any supernatural. While most Wraiths, not to mention most vampires, werewolf mages and changelings, are blissfully unaware of the powers that can be levied from the Shadowlands, some restless are quite aware of what they're capable of and what they can do. Some cut deals with other awakened beings, others go hunting. So you've just got this page here that's filled with all the different Arcanoi and what you can and can't do sort of thing against other supernaturals. Like an easy one is with puppetry, where you can enter the bodies of the undead, but there's a willpower roll that contests that. And I'm not too sure if it's in this book that it mentions it, but I know it's something that was added to 20th Anniversary Edition, that if you spend a lot of time using puppetry on vampires, you sort of begin to have more vampiric features in your corpus. Which I think is pretty cool. It doesn't say that. And there's an FAQ at the back, like, different questions. When my Wraith talks to a shadow, no other Wraiths can hear it. How about when spectres talk to shadows? Can they be heard by others? You know, etc. and so forth. So it's a really handy little book. As I said, it's a proper companion piece. This is built on storytelling and just the fucking artwork. Like, artwork for Wraith is just so fucking gorgeous. It's just wow, honestly. Like, Vampire's art is really cool and thematic, but Wraith, as I've said many a times before, just tickles me in ways that Vampire just cannot. And it feels really fucking weird, actually, that what was meant to be just a purchase to build up my Wraith collection has now become, well, I guess a useless antique because I've taken it out of the packaging, but it doesn't really matter. That's what the fucking books are there for. And here at the back you have the little chronicle, Weedom and Reap. With some awesome looking individual there. So you can run a game of Wraith the Oblivion. If you don't know what to do, there you go. And of course it doesn't have to be set in Atlanta, it can be placed elsewhere. It's an opening scenario, so if you're brand new to Wraith, which I imagine a lot of you would be, there you fucking go. Locations, characters, and just let's have a look at that. That's just really fucking creepy. One of the cool things about Wraith is that you can look whatever the fuck you want with the use of Molliate and God knows what else you can come up with. It's just simply sublime. I was going to say divine, but fuck it, we're going to go with divine. If you want to look like that, you can. If you want to look monstrous and demonic, you can do that as well. Yeah. That's a real brief overview of this book without getting too involved with it. And then there's an ad on the back for Mind's Eye Theatre Wraith Oblivion, which I do not have. I'm not too sure whether it's something I should get. I have no intention of ever doing LARP, but as part of a collection sort of thing. If I buy it from DriveThruRPG, it's not going to go into the hands of By Night Studios, but to White Wolf / Paradox, which is as lesser evil, I guess. And I'm just running my finger here, and I think this is just when I've opened the book. Yeah, the little dent is beginning to crease as I'm starting to use it. Yeah, that is Buried Secrets. Not so pristine as it were about 10 minutes ago. But now here's the really exciting one, I think. Not too sure where to put this. Well, I can just swap over the places of our Storyteller screen. Here we are. The Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition Storyteller screen. And I also have the 1st edition one coming as well, because I'm getting quite freakish with my collecting. And I am just inspecting the bends and the creases. again, this doesn't look like it's really been used. There's no... I'm just looking at the corners and the seams to see it's alright. Other than that dent where the fucking package hit the floor, it's fine. More than fine. It's in fucking great nick. And just the artwork, if it's not clear, this is made of like a very light card material, or cardboard I should say. Sorry for that noise. Obviously it's a bit unwieldy with the little table that I have. So if you allow me to adjust myself a little bit, it's not the best table to be using this as an example, but you can imagine that on a table this would unfold like sort of straight, and then the wings would come out like so. You know, I'm really unsure how to handle this because it's just so flimsy, I guess. I don't know if this is probably the standard in the 90s and the 80s, but it looks cool. It's got all the relevant bits of information here. In fact, I can actually just fucking show you what it looks like, can't I? Oops. There you have it. Buried Secrets, the Storyteller's Companion for Wraith the Oblivion, primarily 2nd edition, and the Storyteller's Screen for Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition. But although you could easily use it with 1st and 20th Anniversary Edition if you so wished, in many ways it's actually more helpful than the 20th Anniversary Edition screen. Yeah, both of these brand new, never been owned by anybody before, really, never been used, just sealed away and forgotten about until somebody got hold of it and wanted to sell it on for themselves, which really is kind of sad, you know, given how amazing Wraith the Oblivion is, and also with Buried Secrets in particular, what a useful tome that is when you're trying to incorporate wraiths and ghosts into the other World of Darkness games, primarily Vampire, because let's face it, that's what most World of Darkness fans are playing. Like, there's so much of a missed opportunity here, and it's just never been used, and it's just been kind of sad that for 30 odd years, really, this just hasn't been used. And now it will be used because it's now in my hands, and I plan to be running quite a bit of Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition actually, because I want to run Wraith the Great War, which uses the Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition rule set, and not all those are included in the Wraith the Great War book, which is why the Storyteller's Screen will be very useful alongside my print-on-demand copy of Wraith the Oblivion 2nd edition, which I got from Drive-Thru-RPG. And you too can get a load of Wraith the Oblivion books from Drive-Thru-RPG and the Storyteller's Vault by going into the description below and finding a whole assortment of links for you to purchase said books from. Now, if you purchase them with those links or add the special affiliate code to the end of the URL before adding them to your cart, I get some of the money back, so I'm able to provide more cool little off-the-cuff things like this and running games for you, because none of that stuff is cheap, as I'm sure any fucking games master can tell you, or avid TTRPG fan. And I would need your financial support if you want to see me do more content like this and run games for you and other Wraith the Oblivion World of Darkness shenanigans. But if you can't, that's absolutely fine, and if you can, I'd really appreciate that. And whilst you're down there, let me know about what you think about this book. If you used it, if you used the Storyteller Screen, how have you used wraiths in your games of World of Darkness? I'd love to hear and read and interact with all of you regarding all of that. But whatever you do, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe this video to all that love what I do, and I'll see you on the next upload, whatever that may well be for you. And until next time, farewell.